That's not our culture, Money Grip. None of
Facts.
that. None of that is our culture. None of the none of that shit. So if you are at a powwow, you think that this is what your people was doing. It's because most of the black Indians that teach this shit get their information from these Native Americans. And then they go back and teach this shit back to us. And then oh, well, where did you get, if you just found out you was an Indian 20 years ago, where did you get this history from? Oh, I found the Native American elder. Could have found out the motherfucker ain't even a Negro. The nigga's a mongoloid from Oklahoma somewhere teaching you some pseudo shit. And then you
Right.
going back teaching it to the people.
A1, you definitely making a good point here. I want to highlight that. And that brings us to this book that you all teach out of. That's written by this man, Emery Dean Keoki, and this woman,
K. Marie Potterfield.
Isn't that what you were just talking about, where people are teaching from Native American elders, mongoloid-looking people, and quoting these people and bringing it back to black people?
How, Sway? Take a few steps back.
The reason why he wrote the book could be attributed to another book given to him by his uncle in the late 1960s. Emma recalled reading the book and being fascinated with its content. It wrote of American Indians being accomplished and efficient at many things, including agriculture. I went through the book and indexed everything that I had never learned before. There were things in that book that I had never read before, never been taught, and it shocked me. Emery collected information for over 30 years when he was homeless and living out of a car in the late 1990s. He put pen to paper and began writing the book. I started writing in my car and began to feel better about myself. I was able to get housing and get into counseling. The beauty of American Indian contributions is that it's pre-contact, pre-Columbus. His speaking request provided evidence to the versatility of this book. One of the Northern Plain tribes invited him to speak last summer during the increase in teen suicide. Emery worked with the students and used the book as a guide to help them identify with the important contributions made by Native Americans. The students' reviews were glowing, and he was invited back. One student shared with Emery that he felt like, I can go on with my education. Another said, this information has to come from an Indian.
Forget about it. This book is not for you.
People that's gonna probably be coming in watching later on, definitely this encyclopedia gives you something to be proud about. Even when you just coming into this Aborigine culture.
Give you what to be proud of. This is what I'm not understanding. It's a book not by you, not written about you, and not for you. Earlier you said you don't like people who get information from these Native Americans, these non-Aboriginals, but you're doing it. So what do you have to say for yourself?
Together while I'm BSing here. Yeah, let me get this taken care of. That way I'm good to go. I am good to go. I don't even need that either. That's what I need. Yes. And let's get my counter together. Boom. I think we ready.
Shout out to everybody together. Get y'all pen in y'all papers. Designated scorekeepers who's going to be watching how many punches. Yeah, we already talked about earlier. Lucky, Lightning Z, Smoke Signal. You guys are here strictly to watch punches and land, how many punches land. It's time to get it, man. The streets want to see a dead body. All right, man, before we get into it, man, this is the debate, man, on whether or not black folks were in America before 1492 and whether or not black Americans descend from those people, or do they descend from African people? So let's get it, man. Shout out to everybody in the building.
Bap.
Yes, sir.
What's the time? What's the official time so I can get the time
Not a
together?
coincidence. Do you want to do a 10-minute introduction round, or are you good with just the 6 minutes? Or what's up? Because I know y'all probably want to get it in. I don't want to limit y'all. So y'all want to do a 10-minute round, 6-minute rounds? What y'all want to do now for the people right here?
I mean, I was set up for like the 6 minutes. We could do a little introduction though.
All right.
And talk about what we're gonna get into.
All right, let's get it. All right. So we doing 6-minute rounds. We'll allow the introduction in the first round to be a little longer with grace time. At the discretion of the brothers on here. And hey man, so listen, I got y'all brothers on the panel. Let's get it, man. How y'all feeling?
I'm good.
A1, mic check. Let's get it, man. What you doing?
Peace to the guys, man. Let me know how my mic sound.
You sound
great.
You sound pretty good.
All right, no doubt. That's marvelous.
Can everybody
Peace
see
to
the
guys.
time?
All right, so I'm gonna let y'all
Yes,
talk.
indeed.
I'm gonna let y'all get it in with the brothers and sisters in the chat. I'm gonna let Not a Coincidence start off, and I'll let A1 end it up, and then we'll start the flipping that coin. I got a coin somewhere. Hold on, I got some coins, so let's get it, man. I'll let y'all get it in. Go ahead, Not a Coincidence. You got it.
So yeah, what we here today doing is we're supposed to be talking about who the original people of America is. And one way I'm gonna go about showing it is I'm gonna show some archaeology work, and I'm also gonna show how these people are related to a certain set of people and not us. Another thing I'm gonna show is what we said about who we are. So remember, the debate is who are the Black Americans? Who was there Black people in America before 1492, and are we the descendants of those people? And that's what I go out to prove today, that we are not the descendants of those people, and we have a distinct culture and we have a distinct oral history that we left behind that people today are trying to leave out. And yeah, that's basically it. So I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna show a couple things about that subject.
I appreciate it, man. Shout out to Not a Coincidence, you guys. Make sure y'all drop those fire emojis in the chat. A1, you got something to say to the brothers and sisters? Shout out to DJ Cuddy in the building as well, you guys. A1, you got something to say? You got to unmute yourself, sir. Come on. A1.
Showing me? My bad. My neighbor was at my door.
Man, come on, man. Tell everybody that's knocking at the damn door to get it together, man. Tell them calm down. Man, tell them you in the dojo right now.
This shit is equally important. Sorry about that. But peace to the guys, peace to the goddesses. You already know what time it is. In my research throughout the years, my point has always been to prove that it has been Negroes in America from time of existence. And with all of the research, I'm gonna do my best to prove it well-rounded. You know what I'm saying? You already know what the information leads to. And the people can conclude from there. Like we have always seen evidence, and always remember, I'm gonna give I'm definitely gonna give some information about how they dumbed us down and how they pretty much misclassified us and other Indians that was misclassified, as well as some Aborigines that still got tribes today that are part of the ancient tribes. So let's do this, man. You already know what time it is. Let's do it, man. Peace to the guys, peace to the goddesses, man. Glad everybody in the chat room, everybody came through. I promise you, I'm gonna definitely give you a heavyweight debate on my end. So peace to the Aborigines as well.
Since I feel like, man, I got a lot to talk about, man, both of you brothers, and I know y'all gonna be doing some elaborations. Are y'all cool with an 8-minute time frame, meeting in the middle, maybe?
Look, man, let him go. However long he want to go. You can go for as long as you want to go. How about that? Because I'm quite sure people came here to chill. So if you can go as long as you want to go. Not a coincidence. You can have an hour, 2 hours, well, however long you
No,
want,
we
man.
ain't doing all that.
I'm just fucking around, but he can
hold
have.
on, hold on. We're gonna make sure that I say 8-minute rounds, and that's just so they can both have some lengthy time to get into their bag with no concern. So DJ Cuddy, please change the time to 8 minutes. Not a coincidence. Is that good for you? I know 10 minutes is a little lengthy. I know A1 probably can go that long. I know both of you brothers can probably go that
Yeah,
long.
you know, A1 he could talk his ass off, but yeah, we can do that.
8 minutes. Let's get it, man. DJ Cuddy. Shout out to DJ Cuddy in the building, man. Shout out to everybody that's in the building, man. We about to get ready to start this thing off, man.
All right.
Let me get my coin. Let me get my coin. What you brothers calling, man? What y'all calling, man?
Go ahead, A1, you home, you can call it.
Heads or tails, nigga.
Heads.
My
I'm
shit
sorry.
Heads. My bad. I had my mic muted.
All right, A1 call heads.
All right, let's get it. I'm flipping. Tails.
It's tails. Call it.
Oh,
A1 go first.
A1 goes first, man. Ding, ding.
A1 goes first.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. First round, y'all. First round. DJ Cuddy, you already know what's up, man. You already know, man.
Round 1. Fight.
all right. Hold up for a second. Let me share my screen. We're gonna start off.
All right, I'm gonna start the time now.
We're gonna start off with what
Round
we know
one.
thus far, right?
Round 1.
That can pretty much conclude to, definitely evidence of these people misleading us, you know what I'm saying, from the time that they started anything with any certification or live birth certification, live birth. We find these people putting whatever classifications on these documentations as they want, right? And then we find out that these people are part of a government society. They're not independent people. These people actually work for the government, and you'll find out that it's not just one individual that plotted and planned to do this. This was a well organized plan for them to basically disfranchise and also reclassify us according to the terminologies that was going to take us away from our land and from our culture and our history and et cetera, right? So we got this fictitious character right here, right? Everybody know about him, right? We've been hearing about him for years. You've seen memes and all this shit, right? But let's get into it a little bit. We just gonna kind of go into it. We all know who he was. He was a Virginia State Register of Vital Statistics. He served from 1912 to 1946. He was a staunch promoter of eugenics, a discredited movement aimed at science um scientifically proving white racial superiority and thereby justifying the marginalization of non-white people. Employing Virginia's Act to preserve racial integrity in 1924, Plecker effectively separated Virginia citizens into two simplified racial categories: white and colored. Right. So let's go down right here, right? Because I don't want to. I only got a couple minutes, so I got to kind of run through what I got, right? All right, employing Virginia Act to preserve racial integrity, Plecker effectively separated. We read that the law, which remained in effect until 1967, when it was overturned by the United States Supreme Court. And everybody know this case right here, Loving versus Virginia. It was with the Aboriginal woman and with the European I guess, or Slavic gentlemen, as we say. It said required that a racial description for every person to be recorded at birth, while criminalizing marriages between whites and non-whites. Pleca policies use a deceptive scientific evidence to deem blacks lesser class of human beings. It said, but they also target poor whites and anyone he or other eugenicists considered feeble-minded, right? Now we know by all means we wasn't feeble-minded because we see um all of the inventions and all the technology. But anyway, right? It's saying certain that Virginia Indians were in fact mixed blood Negroes, right? Pleca also pressured, it says, state agencies into reclassifying Indians as colored, right? Now, as we go through this, right, you're gonna see so-called Indians classified as everything: colored, Negro, right, black, and you're gonna see it vice versa. You're gonna see different color terms that's gonna be presented to you from different authors and different people who observed it or people who done the research to come up with books to basically, let the people know exactly what their observation of the people that they found here, right? So all right, so boom. So we go right here, right? This was something that I found very interesting, right? This little article right here. I don't think nobody ever goes over this, right? So it said eugenics and white supremacy. During the 1920s, Walter Plecker became an advocate of the pseudoscientific claims of eugenics. The word coined in 1883 by Francis Galton, your boy, right? And who else? Charles Darwin, your other boy, right? What would he be doing hanging out with these individuals, right? What you think this guy right here, you think like these individuals right here are all part of secret societies and all this other shit. I
3 minutes.
ain't
3 minutes. 3 minutes.
I got 3 minutes, man. God damn. All right, let me get with it. All right, so Charles Darwin, it said, mean well-born eugenicists argued that racial and genetic purity resulted in a more stable society. All right, so now we know exactly what these individuals were working with, right? When they was classifying so-called Indians as colored and saying that they was mixed blood. Now understand this, right? There's also some trickery to this, right? The point of what they claim he was trying to do, they were saying that he was pretty much like trying to keep the European blood pure. And anybody who had Negro blood in them, they would classify them as white. I mean, they was classify them as Negro. The same thing, vice versa. So when they say they had Negro blood, they meaning that the Indians were actually Negroes, and some of the Europeans mixed or we mixed with them. So, that's been a point of contention this whole time with these classifications, and these classifications is done on purpose. So with that, I'm gonna get into what I need to get in. That was actually I was just reading that just to connect the dots with everything from these different classifications and these different terminology. But now we can get into it, okay? All right. Once again, I say that with emphasis, right? America was a Negro continent, right? So, just to start it off, we got the term nigger right here, right?
A
So
minute,
when you,
a minute and a half.
yo, I'm gonna need like 10 more minutes, man. I mean, not a coincidence could present whatever he want to present. You can pull your whole library out if you want. But let me just continue this right here. Let me just get like, you said how many minutes I got, AP?
A minute and 14 seconds or 10 seconds.
All right. So the term nigger or Negro in the so-called Oxford Dictionary is saying a dark-skinned person of any origins. In early U.S. use, usually with reference to American Indians. Now, do they call American Indians niggas today? But with the classifications that we got from your boy right there, Walter Plecker, who was part of the Eugenics Society, right? We can understand these different classifications, right? So just for the individuals that's just coming to the table and just trying to understand some of this, right? These is like, just earlier, lessons pertaining to this typical topic of us being an American, who the Americans are. Right. So once again, America, a native of America, originally applied to the Aborigines or copper colored races. Right. So we go here. Go back to the census right here.
3 seconds. 3 seconds.
3 seconds. Come on, bro.
Time.
How many rounds? How many rounds do we got, bro? I can't work like that. I need more time than this.
Well, listen, we can. Y'all agreed to these times. So listen, I'm willing to give y'all a 3 minute. I'm willing to give you another 2 minute additional time, and I do the same thing for not a coincidence. I want to bring both of y'all on.
Give him 2 minutes. He sound like he's struggling. Give him 2 minutes.
I'm struggling. Shit, I'm just getting started, nigga. Shit.
All right, so we'll give you another 2 minutes, but you'll have a 30-second grace. Okay, now that's for both of y'all rounds. Okay, not coincidence. DJ Cuddy, you got that? We're gonna give them another 2 with a 30-second grace.
All right, to go back into it. All right, so we got the 1860 census, the instructions to the U.S. Marshals. We're gonna go right here. We're gonna go to schedule number 1, free inhabitants. Then we go down here to Indians. Once again, say Indians not taxed are not to be enumerated. The family of Indians who have renounced their tribal rule and are under state or territory laws exercise rights of citizens. So they would classify these citizens as what? And they are to be enumerated. In all such cases, I write IND opposite their name in column 6 under the heading colored. So once again, we're getting more reference that they put in these classifications on our people, right? So when we deal with the word copper color, we're dealing with numerous different brown shades. We're dealing with burnished, chestnut, copper, rustic, rust, tan, burnished, metallic brown, reddish tan, right? These are some of the images of the shades that our people come in, right? So these are all what we would call copper color, right? So going beyond that, right? Knowing now that they classify Indians as colored, right? We revisit the NAACP. And in visiting the NAACP, observing the colored people, because all of these people are referenced as colored, right? All of these people would have been referenced as colored, right? Obviously, among the crowds, you see some, you see some Europeans in the front right here, but the majority of colored people, what we term Negroes, right? These are the majority of the colored people, right? There go some more images of what we call the NAACP, right? Some more images of people who are classified as colored, right? Now, I don't know what an Indian look like. I mean, I don't know what people think an Indian look like, right? But these are all Indians right here. These are people who renounced their tribal rule and now are taking the term taking the direction under the governor or the government and being governed. And they're reclassified from actually their nation that they originally was in, right? So we got more individuals from the NAACP, right? So, when you look through these images, right? We like, talk. Oh, shit. All right.
What a 45-second grace period?
What, I got 45 more seconds?
No, you had an extra 45 besides the extra 2 that
damn, all right, man. Damn.
Shout out to everybody that's in the building, man.
Come here!
All right, let's get it, man. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Let's get Not a Coincidence lined up, man. Make sure y'all hit that like. Well, hopefully y'all taking notes out there, man. I need y'all taking notes. Real talk, I need y'all taking notes. You know what I mean? So let's get it.
I'm ready.
And hold on, waiting on DJ Cuddy to get the time.
Hey, yo, tell me how many. We're gonna give him 10 minutes, man. Since we gave just give him 10 minutes. If he don't need it, but we're gonna give him 10.
Right. So we got A1 10. We're gonna do 10 minutes. 10 minutes. All right. Let's
All
go.
right. And here we go.
So yeah, first of all, let's talk about this. The title is
Hold on. Let me reset your time. Hold up. Let me reset your time. Here we go. I apologize to everybody. Here we go.
Round 2. Fight.
It's still round 1 though.
Oh, it is round 1, isn't it? I'm tripping.
Round 1. Fight.
You're on mute, my not. Time reset.
so A1. He must have forgot what the title of the debate was. So here goes the title. Was Black people in America before 1492? Are African Americans the descendants of those people? All he came out to do was appeal to emotion, and he starts off with Walter Plecker, right? So I don't know why he jumps to the 1920s when we're supposed to be talking about 1492. But the thing with Walter Plecker was he wasn't saying that these people wasn't Indians for no reason. He was saying they was Indians because they wasn't Indians because they had a strain of Negro blood. So even then, right there, he's making the distinction between Indian and Negro. So Negro and Indian can't be the same thing, like A1's trying to say. They're trying to hijack these words. Negro, Black, they're trying to say they're synonymous with Indian, and they're not. So he goes to the Oxford English Dictionary, and he skips all the way down to 3A. But he fails to start at the top, where it clearly tells you nigger. A dark skin, it tells you it comes from the word Negro, right? But he doesn't read the part where it tells you it's a dark-skinned person of sub-Saharan African origin, right? Then they go in here and tell you how they're using it of people, talking about people of African origin. We got Ethiops, where they're talking about Ethiopian. We got Niger. We got Sierra Leone. This is all 1577, 1584, 1608. So this is way before A1 try to pull something slick. It's 3A. So this is way before 3A. Now let's look at the years on 3A. All of this is in the 1800s, up to 1944, 1843, 1944. But when we look at the origin, it tells you 1577 is the earliest. So we all smart. We all understand that that's way before the 1800s, like he tried to show us. Then he tried to pull this slick move here and go to the 1828 Webster's Dictionary, where they have the term American, right? Where they say copper color races. He's misusing this word. They're saying copper color, not colored people. Like in the 1828, they're talking about here, they're talking about colored people. Let's find it. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Right down here. Colored. Right? So they're talking about just the color, right? So when we come up here, this is the continuation of it. We go to 3, having a specious appearance, colored people, Black people, Africans or their descendants, mixed or unmixed. That one drop rule, you're colored if you descend from an African person. But he tried to make the colored thing because white people, they only see things as white and Black, and that's what he's trying to do, see things as just white and Black. So obviously we see that's not the definition of colored. Colored people has its own definition, and it's there. So when we get into 1492, when we get into 1492, right? And prior, we got the Hopewell Mound From about 200 BC to 500 AD, the Ohio River Valley was a focal point of this prehistoric Hopewell culture. This is from Hopewell National Historical Park. Right, so in the Hopewell mounds, they found some bodies. They found 34 individuals, and they was found in mounds 2, 4, 7, 25, and 26. Out of those people, ancient mitochondrial DNA was extracted from the teeth of those people, and it identified 4 of the 5 mitochondrial DNA haplogroups that is already in the Americas. That's A, B, C, D, and X. So we have another study where they're talking about the Mayans, pre-Hispanics, so pre-colonization, where they say they talk about consequently the principal aim of this study was to determine mitochondrial DNA variations in the prehistoric Mayan population and to assess the relationship of these individuals with contemporary Meso-Mayan and populations from Asia, Maurania, North and Central and South America. Our results revealed interactions and gene flow between populations in the different archaeological sites assessed in this study. The mtDNA haplogroup frequency in pre-Hispanic Maya populations is 63.53%, 34.21%, 5.26% for haplogroups A, C, and D in that order. And here we have James Chatters. He's an American archaeologist, paleontologist, and A1's favorite guy to quote. But A1 likes to cherry pick when he quotes from this guy. He never gives the full picture of what he says. He likes to say that James Chatters says that these people are, they're different from the Native Americans today. But what he doesn't tell you, what James Chatters says is about the 12,000-year-old Naya, who was a female found in what they call Hoyo Negro, which is a black hole in Mexico. He said, we tried a DNA extraction on the outside chance some fragments might remain. So Chatters, I was shocked when we actually got intact DNA. So from the analysis of that DNA, the analysis showed that Naya's mtDNA contains a haplogroup that occurs in modern Native Americans and is only found in the Americas. Scientists believe it evolved in Barragina. Right, so here we have Fatima Jackson. She's an American biologist and anthropologist. She's a professor at the biology of Howard University.
3 minutes.
So she's a professor at Howard University. And here's a paper that she co-wrote on, where she's talking about the African-American mitochondrial DNA often matched found in multiple African ethnic groups. Mind you, I showed you a study where they talk about A, B, C, D, and X are the haplogroups found in America. Well, we don't see none of those in the ones that are tested that are from, unless we're talking about people who are saying they're mixed with Indian ancestry on their mother's side, we don't see any of those haplogroups in them people. We always see African haplogroups. So in the study, samples of general African-American and specific Gullah Geechee HVS, which is hypervariable sequence, and haplotypes were compared with 2 databases of HVS haplotypes from sub-Saharan Africa, and the incident of it produced a perfect matches recorded for each sample. A sample of 78 African Americans who self-identified as Gullah Geechee was generated by laboratories from unrelated people sampled in coastal areas of South Carolina and Georgia. All right, let's see. How much time I got left?
1.5 minutes.
So yeah, like I said before, the debate was about was black people in America before 1492. A1 didn't get out the 1900s. I don't know if he forgot the debate topic or he just thinks he can come in here and just throw Walter Plecker's name around because it brings in an emotional response to people because in Virginia and only in Virginia, he was able to tell some people who said they was Indian that they wasn't. So yeah, A1 needs to get on the topic because he's way off topic, and that's my time. I end it right there.
All right. Shout out to
Not a
Nautical Winston.
coincidence. Man, came out. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. We about to go into the second round, man. Before we go into the second round, man, I want to play a little music. DJ Cuddy, turn it up a little bit, man. Let the people get set in, man. This was a good, nice round, a nice introduction round, man. Nice round. Come on, DJ Cuddy. What the music is? Let's go.
That's right.
Swim team shit, nigga. Doughboy shit. Hey, just got off the pack. I just left the store, I'm about to head back. Gotta call my plug again, they asking where it's at. Hey, I just got off the pack. I just left the store, I'm about to head back. Gotta call my plug again, they asking where it's at. Niggas on them drugs again, they don't know how to act, Hey, I just got off the pack. Half a brick of salt for 20 pounds of that batch. Gram for gram like Uncle Sam, you know I tax. Know a freak little hoe stay busting off for flats. If she a freak little hoe, I'ma bust all on the back. When I do it, you know I do it to the max. We in Neiman, we in Gucci, we in Saks. I got the Uzi and G&O got the Mac. You ever play with the G, I turn you to a pack. Boy, you can't take the heat, it turns you to a rat. I'm trying to shake this D and serve all of this crack. You know we play for keys, you play with me instead. Get in that water, see us swimming for them racks. You see them blues all in my denim, bitch, them stacks. I probably need an intervention, and that's facts. My Remy dirty, this 30 got me relaxed. Just got off the pack. I just left the store, I'm about to head back.
Let's get it. Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to everybody that came out and support, man. I gave away 4. Let me take that back. I gave away 5 free tickets, man. So shout out to the people that got the free tickets that left those emails in the comment section. We really appreciate you guys coming up. Shout out to Thompson is one and not a coincidence. I appreciate y'all for coming out for the debate. Let's get it going. DJ Cuddy, you got the time set up, man. We're getting into the second round, man.
No doubt about it. We're getting pop right back on up, and we are on and popping. Yep.
Round. Let me light my second wood. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm about ready. You're absolutely right. A1, are you ready, my brother?
Yep.
And you just let me know when you're ready.
Go ahead and get set up, everyone. I'm ready. I see your screen ready.
Round 1.
I mean, excuse me, wrong round. Round 2.
Let's get it.
Y'all ready? Here we go.
Round 2. Fight.
Let's get it. A1, you ready to go? You locked and loaded?
All right, let's get it right. All right, so look, I know you guys like, damn, A1 this lame, he gonna show a meme. Well, let's get into this meme right here, right? So this is Carlos Chavez Marquez, right? We're gonna get into a little bit more about him, but this is what he quoted in the early 1920s or early 1900s, right? They say the Negro type is seen in most ancient Mexican sculptures. The Negroes figure frequently in most remote traditions of some American pueblo. It is to this race doubtlessly belong to the most ancient skeletons distincted from the red American race, which has been found in various places from Bolivia to Mexico. It is likely we repeat that America was a Negro continent. Now I know y'all like, oh shit, this nigga showing memes and shit, right? Nah. Let's get into where the source come from. The source actually come from J.A. Rogers, the 100 amazing facts in American Negro, right? Or about the Negro. All right. So when you go to number 16 in this actual wonderful book, actually, it has a great lot of information in it. You get the number 16. He quote, and he actually sources Carlos Chavez Marquez. It say on the presence of the Negro in America long before Columbus, right? It says exactly as it reads, right? But when you go down to the bottom right here, it gives the actual source. All right, the study of archaeology and ethnographics, right? That's what it says. Translated. When you translate it from, let me see. Hold on, let me take this down a little bit. This is the actual translation from Spanish to English. Um, and we already know what archaeology is. Okay. So it's saying branch of anthropology that deals with the description of specific human cultures using methods such as a close observation and interviews. Right. So it's a branch of knowledge which has for its subjects the character of the human family, developing the details with which ethnology as a comparative science deals with descriptive ethnology. See ethnology. All right. So we go to ethnology. I mean, well, hold up. I'm bugging. My bad. Oh shit, my bad. I'm bugging. I meant ethnographics. But actual archaeology is the study of past human life and culture by the recovery of examinations and remaining material evidence such as graves, buildings, tools, and pottery, right? So this is his actual book. Let me see. This is the actual book itself, and this is the details that was descriptive in as well as the meme and as well as what Jay Rogers referenced, right? Translated, right? So let's continue. So when he mentioned Bolivia, right? These would be indigenous people from Bolivia, right? But not a coincidence, and other people will have you believe that these are Africans, right? Even though that they found the most ancient bones in these areas, that these Negroes throughout these lands are Africans, right? So there's no descendants of any of these ancient people of their remains, or none of them descendants. All of these people are Africans. There's no Aboriginal people in that land of from them two places, right? These are Aboriginal people of Mexico, right? And as we see, these are Negroes or colored people, but I'm gonna say Negroes specifically, right? Not a coincidence. Brought up DNA. When Walter Plecker was around and the eugenics was created, they wasn't using no DNA to basically classify no people. Walter Plecker was not taking nobody DNA classifying Negroes as colored. We get seen an organization known as the NAACP, and we seen some of the individuals who are classified as colored. So what would be the likelihood that none of these people that's classified as colored are actual Indians or descendants of Indians? Let's continue, right? He talked about my good boy right here, James Chatter, right? All right, we already know the American archaeologist and paleontologist, right? So in his so-called, I'm sorry, let me go back to the top. In this so-called article, it say DNA from a 12,000-year-old skeleton help answer the question, who were the first Americans, right? So we go down. We already know, y'all already know the deal. Y'all already know what's up with this article. It say, but there's lies a puzzle. Modern. We already know what modern might mean. Modern means new. Native American closely resemble the people of China and Korea and Japanese and Japan, but the oldest skeletons do not. Says archaeotype. I'm not an archaeologist. I'm just a brother doing the observation work. I'm looking at things bioptically. I'm creating hypotheses. I'm creating theories, right? I'm not a paleontologist. Neither is any of the brothers in the chat room or the brothers on the panel. my mistake. I don't know if anybody in the chat room is a paleontologist or archaeologist, but if you are, just hit one for me. All right, so James Chatter is who they talking about. We already know he's a lead author and study and owner of Applied Paleoscience. So he goes on to say this: the small number of American specimens discovered has smaller and shorter faces and larger and narrower skulls than later Native American, most closely resembling the modern people of Africa, Australia, and South Pacific Island. Right now, look, he goes into it, say this has led to speculations that perhaps the first Americans, he not even call them Native Americans, and they said the first Americans, the Atanchans, and Native Americans came from different homelands, right? Now it says right here, Chatter continues, or migrated from Asia at different stages of evolution. This is the part that not a coincidence like to dwell on. I'm dwelling on this. The original skulls.
2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes.
I'm dwelling on this. The original skulls resembling modern people of Africa, Australia, and South Pacific Island. Now, maybe we forgot what these people look like. Maybe we never seen these people before. But I got them right here for you, right? We already know these are Africans. Cute little kids, right? It's a beautiful South Pacific Islander sister. Now, she came over here. She'd be classified as one of us. Likewise, right? And these are Australians right here, right? Now, I mean, they got particular looks. I've really not seen too many Negroes who look like them, but just for the sake that we're saying dark skin or copper color or coarse hair people, we can relate ourselves to this. So why would he make a claim of bringing up these Africans, South Pacific Islanders, and Australians? Meaning that the original people here had to resemble, you find yourself in the middle of these three groups, right? You know, you got R.B. Dixon, racial and history, right? And he's also mentioned in that so-called in that article that Jay Rogers mentioned right here. He's mentioned at the bottom, R.B. Dixon, Racial History of Mankind. Dixon emphasizes that the fact that there was an early Negro strain in the Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Central American Indians, right? Columbus says, whatever, I'm not even going into that. Matter of fact, you know what? Might as well. Columbus says that he wanted to find out what the Indians had told him, that there had come to it from, I gotta blow this shit up, man. My bad, y'all. This shit is small as hell. Fuck.
1 minute, 50 seconds, actually.
All right, let me read. Columbus says that he wanted to find out what the Indians had told him, that they had come to it from the South and the Southeast Negro people. All right, so these are giving references right here. Now, in this particular reference, let me take this out. Let me blow this up. He gets into it. All right, so he said, we can, however, be confident that as in the North or the Caspian type is far and away the most important one of the Lipteron group, whereas of the Proto-Negro largely outnumbers, right, the Proto-Australianoid, because in this book he's making differentials, right? So he's saying at least in two most important series, those from Santa Laganda in Brazil, right?
Man, this shit ain't done cooked up, man. Not a coincidence you ready to come in. That was some good shit. That was some good shit. Oof. 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 It's getting hot in this motherfucker, boy. Y'all niggas come with that heat. A1, boy, you just did some shit in that world. The hell was that? Not a coincidence. Fight back. Let's get it. Get the time set, DJ Cuddy. Let's get that 10 minutes on.
Yeah, let's get that cracking. Let's get him back cracking.
Yeah, let's get that 10.
Let me know when you're ready, Not.
We ready. We ready.
Unmute your mic, Not.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Here we go.
All right. Here we go. So A1 has a real problem. He does this all the time. He comes out with these speeches, and all he's doing is cherry picking. And I'm gonna show you what I mean by when I say he's cherry picking. So cherry picking is suppressing evidence or the fallacy of complete evidence. Is the act of pointing out to individual cases or data that seem to confirm a particular position while ignoring a significant proportion of related and similar cases or data that may contradict that position. So he runs to this. This is his favorite article. I already told you what James Chaddis said. He said them people are related to the Native Americans you see today. But for some reason, he wants to keep going over this. So he'll point out places like where they say that the skulls are different, and these people look like modern African, Australian, and South Pacific people. But if anybody knows the Aboriginal doctrine, they know the Aboriginal doctrine says they've always been here. The Aboriginal doctrine says they didn't come from nowhere. But James Chaddis says they came from somewhere. They came from Asia. That's what he says. He leaves that part out. So when we talk about cherry picking, that's what cherry picking is, right? He leaves out the part that where they say she says a DNA sequence with some modern Native Americans. He leaves that out. So it's more in this article about them being related to each other and them coming from somewhere else than it is about that little part where it says that they look different. Because they tell you in this article is multiple waves of people. Now, finally, he brings up Columbus. He talks about what Columbus says. He went to somebody else quoting Columbus. He didn't actually go to Columbus. So this is a collection of letters from Columbus's first voyage, right? So let's see what he says. So this is Thursday, October 11th. We don't gotta read everything to understand what's going on. But he clearly says, oh shit. Here we go. He says they wear their hair brought down to their eyebrows except a few locks behind, which they wear long and never cut. They paint themselves black and they are the color of Canarians, neither black nor white. He says some paint themselves white and others of what color they find. So Columbus, he never said that they was black. At least he has to prove it, right? He ain't doing that. The people. So let's get back to this, man. So one thing he likes to do is they like to steal these words. They like to steal these words, black and Negro. They want to apply it to everybody. So you got to dodge the hijack. We go to the etymology. Black always meant the meaning dark-skinned person, African. I don't know where they get this that the Indian and all that other shit. Negro, 1550s, members of a black skin race from Spanish or Portuguese. Black. These words are interchangeable. They always been They've always been synonymous with each other, right? You got Negro, like I showed you earlier when we went into the 1828 Webster Dictionary, colored, African American. So it's not a misclassification. They're just different words with the same meaning. So for a long time, the Aboriginal community was able to run with, oh, these words are different, but they're not. These words are all synonyms. So again, he showed you a secondary source of somebody saying that these people are Negroes or black or whatever. But he didn't show you the actual source. I showed you Columbus's letters from the first voyage. Here's a map from 1375. It was made by Abraham Cresquez. The map details places such as Mali Empire, India, Persia, Ireland, Canary Islands, Anatolia, and China, but no mention of the Americas. That's why the Americas is the New World. They didn't know nothing about the Americas, at least not on a wide scale level. So I brought this map up because here we have Mansa Musa, right? They call him King of the Negroes. Translation, this black lord is called Musa Meli and is the sovereign of the land of the Negroes in Geneva, Ghana. This king is the richest and noblest of all these lands due to the abundance of gold that is extracted from his land. So on that map, this is on panel 3. So here we see the word Negro being applied to them, to these people in Africa. Everybody knows what Ghana is. Way before he tried to show you with that Negro definition, probably about almost 500 years. Because like I said, he showed you something where it said that they was calling Indians niggers in the 1800s. They've been calling Negroes from West Africa long before they even thought about coming to America. So they're not
3 minutes.
black. They not none of that. So I showed you how the word was used through etymology. I just showed you the word being used in 1375 on a map. So again, black and Negro, this is how it was used. This book is from the late 1400s, about 1470. It was written in the 1440s. It's called The Chronicle of Discovery and the Conquest of Guinea. The author, Gomez Enes Zuera, was a Portuguese chronicler, a person who takes the history of historical events. Gomez details the kidnapping and release of a black man named Adahu. He is released because he was able to negotiate a ransom. Now, this man Adahu was a Moor, and he basically sold out the other black people, even though they already had him enslaved. He gave them up, and this is how we get to the origin of slave trade. But that's for a whole nother debate. So here we go. This is on page 55, volume 1. For as the Moor told him, the least that they would give for them would be 10 Moors, and it was better to save 10 souls than 3. For though they were black, yet they had souls like the others, and all the more as these blacks were not of the lineage of the Moors. And what ended up happening is Anton Conclave received for his 2 captives, Adahu and it was a female, 10 blacks and a male when they went and swapped them. You can find that on page 57. So here we got a book. This man, the author of the book, dies in 1474. The map I showed you was from 1375. What did A1 really show you so far that has anything that's going on? Nothing. So one thing that they try to do is they try to play this color game. So here we have a dark-skinned woman. You can't say she's pale. She can't say none of that. You want to play the skin color game? Well, here you go. You got a dark-skinned woman.
60 seconds.
You got a dark-skinned woman from the Guna people of Panama. Y'all should look them up. Indigenous people, Aboriginal. So we got this indigenous people performing during a 4-day powwow in Paraku Village in Zing in Indigenous Park in San Jose. You can see the color of these people. My point is there is more, there's melanated people outside in the world that are not you, and you have nothing to do with them. And they can still exist. It's not one or the other. You know what I'm saying? It's not an exclusion thing. It's more than what you think. You got to think outside of the box. It's not a black and white world. and he keeps showing me stuff from these scientific racist people, that's what it's going to be.
Round 2.
Shout out to
Fatality.
Not a Coincidence, man. Shout out to Not a Coincidence. Shout out to Ahanu, man. Shout out to Hanu. This was some heavyweight rounds, man. The people came here for a heavyweight jam. They came here for a heavyweight jam. Y'all really putting on, man. We're gonna take a quick spin out to get to some little hippity hop. We're gonna come back with the third round boogie. I'm about to get ready to put the polls in the chat, so make sure y'all come back. DJ Cuddy, spin that music for us, big bro. You know how we rocking.
Freestyle. What the you need? Yo, I inhale a weed. That what they telling me? What they telling me? What they yeah. What that fella need? What that heifer need? Can't get caught with these. What are those felonies? Trying to keep the hood straight with they felonies. When I made it back safe, I just fell on knees. Thank the Lord for the hustle that just fell on me. In these streets, I'm trying my hardest not to fell on knees. Keep a popper and some paper for my bell on me. If I have to pop, I pray my blick don't fell on me. Ain't gonna tell me when they coming. They gon' bell on me. Every time them hoes get caught, they gon' tell on me. This a lot. Niggas ratting law enforcement got they trail on me. Cause they know that I got something that's for sale on me. Nothing heavy, private stock, it's a mellow weed. Mellow weed, car, mellow weed. Make you say ooh la la when you inhale a weed. You can tell I keep that Zod cause it smell on me. Probably why these pretty bitches wanna smell on me. I don't sweat up, see, I just let her be. I might call her something that start with the letter B. I just let her see, you'll never be. Just be all that you can be, never me. I can sell a key, I can sell a pea. Make her think it's lemonade, I can sell a pea. Got a big old ass shaking like it's jealousy. Every time they see me with her, I smell jealousy. Built like Meg Thee Stallion, but she got some better knees. Got her gossiping and looking for some better tea. Find you something else to talk about instead of me. I'm just trying to find a plug with some better fees. I'm just trying to hit a plug with some cheddar cheese. Catch me whipping up another, I got recipes. I be whipping up that butter like a yellow tea. Catch me cooking like my mother in a yellow tea. I got stripes like a zebra in a referee. I gave everybody a slice, say the rest for me. I got 40 dead homies, made it rest.
All right.
I'm still praying.
Shout out to everybody in the motherfucking building. Shout out to DJ Cut Tech, man. Y'all already know, man. The best is man. So listen, man. This is the third round, man. What's up, man? I know y'all both going in. I know y'all got a lot, man. We're gonna get into a rebuttal and questions rounds. But what's up with this? Can we do a 15-minute round? Can we give the people a little more? They came for a show. I'm just asking.
I need 20, man, this round.
Nah,
Shit.
bro. We ain't doing no more.
Like, we can do it good.
Nigga, we could do 20. Let's do 20.
That's up to y'all, man. The people came in. They showed up. You know?
Ask the people, can we do 20?
Let us know. 20 minutes? What? 20 minutes? I see 20 minutes. Damn. Okay, I see that. Yeah, I'm talking about.
All right, we ready?
Yep, that's what's up. I guess we're gonna go with 20 minutes. I was waiting for some responses. I got one, so I think we'll go with that. So 20 minutes it is.
I see a few 20 minutes in here. I see a few people disagree. So listen, man, not a coincidence.
I see 20.
A lot of coincidence. You know what I mean? I want you to go in. You doing good. Shout out to A1. You dropping heat. I want y'all to give the people what they paid for, man. Y'all brothers have came to put on. I know y'all put a lot of time in this. So listen, man, let's get it in, man. 20-minute rounds. These brothers giving y'all a show, man. Y'all show love to these brothers, man. Make sure y'all tell a friend to come purchase this pay-per-view, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Third round, man. The third round, man. We're going into the third, man. Everybody put their big threes up in the chat, man. Everybody put their big threes up in the chat. I can't wait for the rebuttal and question round. That's going to be the heated round that I'm looking to get into. So I can't wait to get that in, man. Can't wait to get that in. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. We're starting the time now. Ahanu, you ready?
Yep.
Round 3. Fight.
All right, we're gonna go back. He said Negro. He was talking about Negro, so let's challenge this real quick, right? All right, even when it gets into the term Negro, right, it's using a description. It's saying black skin race of Africa, right? So we know that this is just not limited to no black skin races of Africa. It's just limited to dark complexion person, right? You see what it say black, dark, stable, and dusty. Now I'm not a dusty nigga, but you know, maybe a few dusty niggas around. I don't know. But however it go, you know, these are the terminologies under this so-called term, right? Or classification, because niggas was classified as a motherfucking Negro as well, right? So look, okay. When I went to Oxford Dictionary, right? Now, it's clear what he claimed Negro means, right? A member of a black skin race of Africa, from Africa, right? So that shit should be solidified. It shouldn't be applied to nobody else. If it's only restricted for a member of the black skin race of Africa, it should only be restricted to them. It should not be restricted or applied to anybody else.
All out there.
So somebody might.
My bad. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, that was Cuddy. All right, my bad. So look, so when we get into the term nigga, yeah, there's a bunch of different dark skinned person of sub-Saharan Africa, right? All right, we know that, right? Usually black people and currently whatever. All right, we know all that, right? But why the fuck, if they not in Africa, right? Why would they apply that to people they know goddamn well they not in Africa? And see, this is what's happening a little bit too much around here, right? These niggas is taking things too far out of content, and they using these people is controlling a lot of these guys' brains. Because even when they see the truth, they still deviate from it, right? So once again, I showed this source for a reason. We on the term nigga. It says a dark-skinned person of any origins, right? It say in early U.S. Not saying a dark-skinned person of any origin. Now this is the Oxford Dictionary, all right. So this is not like just, this is a little bit more serious than the Webster's and all of them other dictionaries that they got, right? The Oxford is like one of the top dictionaries out there, right? Sorry, so it clarifies a dark-skinned person of any origin. So okay, dark-skinned person of any origins, right? But then it goes right here and says this: in early U.S. use, usually with reference to American Indian. Now, why the fuck? I mean, I understand what it just said: a dark-skinned person of any origins, right? So they're applying it to the American, the Aborigines, because they are a dark-skinned person. That's why it's being applied, because it says it right here, right? Don't it? It says it with clarity. A dark-skinned person of any origins. So even when you go back to my brother right here, look. Matter of fact, you need to go there. We go to something different. And look, shout out to Richard Neves too, man. America's a Negro continent, man. Shout out to this brother, right? So look, we ain't gonna go nowhere else. We can go back here. We got another source right here, right? Another source. Hold up. All right, so this is the article right here. Let me see. All right, so we right here. All right, boom. So this is an article. This is about Luzia. And it tells you. It said a set of bones from the skeletons from the Brazilian prehistoric made up of 42 men and 39 women, with an age estimated or date at between 7,500 and 11,000 years. Challenge the most accepted theories about the first inhabitants of the New World. The skull from the region of the Minas Gerais indicates that the original discoverers of America had like Luzia features that recall those of present day Aborigines of Australia and blacks of Africa. Now look, once again, Australians, right? Australians, right? And blacks of Africa, right? Now in between them two people, we's in the beginning. Fuck that, because we the original people. So we're in the beginning. All right. But just to give you clarity, them people who look like that was here already. Where did these people go? Oh, did they disappear? Nah, let's get into it, right? So, my bad. So even in this article, it tells you that it was made up of 42 men and 39 women. Meaning they found 81 skulls total. And they specifically says those are present day Aborigines and Australians and blacks African. Now this 7,500 to 11,000 years, right? All right, boom. This is some, I guess, digital images that was provided to the guard, and this is the reconstruction of what Luzia or her people would have looked like. Now, if this is not a fucking Negro right here, right? Because this guy just took this shit Negro and just applied it and restricted it to so-called Africans. But the Oxford Dictionary had a totally different opinion than what Another Coincidence put out there. And mind me say, Another Coincidence have never published no dictionary. He has never done any DNA. He don't really, outside of the Europeans and the eugenics group telling him what a haplogroup is, right? His only source is them. So he's going to eugenics and presenting eugenics back on the people. And he's talking about Walter Pleck. I brought Walter Pleck up for a fact to show you the devious and the devils that was part of the system that was classifying people Negroes. Because like once again, if Negroes only restricted to Africa, there should not be no Americans called Negroes, right? So boom. So this 7,500 to 11,000 years ago, right? So boom, let's go into this real quick, right? Now that's 7,500 to 11,000 years. Negroes, according to what the experts said, not A1, because they couldn't get that mixed up. They said two different so-called Negro groups of people, Australians and so-called Africans, right? Boom. We get into this guy. He mentioned something about Africans and Native Americans, right? See, no, most people never seen the motherfucking cover of the goddamn book. Now, the fucking cover of the goddamn book is these niggas is from these are the Incans. These are the goddamn Incans. And they go your spirit tips that Columbus was talking about of the people who he encountered, right? But enough said. Let's go into it, right? This is a father and two sons. This shit, they took this and made a painting over there in Spain. They took this and made a painting in Spain. And this is how the brothers was getting dipped down back in the day, right? So look, so let's see if when the Europeans, who everybody think came here and did what they did, let's see if it was still Negroes here, or was they still applying the term Negro to the so-called Indians, right? All right, so let's get into this, right? So this is per Jack Forbes, right? So he said the possibility that Native Americans was quite commonly called Negroes is very much supported by the Portuguese usage. During the colonial period, Brazilian Indians were repeatedly referred to as Negroes de terra, Negroes of the land, not from a land over there, but this land right here. Okay? A great many examples from the 16 and later centuries, right, are cited by George Frederick, whatever. So this is your source, right? Y'all want to look him up? Not a coincidence. You do a lot of terrible research. You should look this individual up, right? In his analysis of the Portuguese sources, these do not have to be repeated. It's saying, I'm here, but suffice to say that it was so common that finally in 1755 a royal decree had to be issued as the following. Now, here you go. Among the regrettable practices which has resulted in the disparagement of the Indians, one prime abuse is the unjustifiable and scandalous practice of calling them Negroes. Now, we repeatedly see this shit. We repeatedly see this, right? But let's skip this right here. Let's get to something else. Enough for the science, right?
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Now, this is another source out of this so-called book, right? R.B. Dixon, right? Racial History, right? Fabulous book, by the way, right? All right. Now, check this out, right? Listen to this. And listen, once again, with these books, I do not agree with everything that's in there. I only could agree with what I can cross-reference and what's consistent with information that I've heard that's outside of a lot of these people guidelines, right? Boom. All right, so he said in contrast with their more easternly Algonquin tribes, our knowledge of those of the New England is wholly derived from cranios, since the pureblood Indians of the greater portion of this area has been extinct. Now, boom, I do not agree with that, and I'm gonna show and prove in a minute. Check this out. The larger number of cranial are from site in the central and eastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island. Right now, look, keep them states in mind, Massachusetts and Rhode Island, right? It says, and shows analysis that dominate the elements in all this area is the most unexpectedly the Proto-Negro. Now, the majority of the cranials that they found in Rhode Island and Massachusetts, according to the scientists and the people who've been researching this shit, has been Proto-Negro. Proto means first. You already know what Negroid means. So now we have more Negro activity in the Americas, right? But check this out, right? It's an image of a gentleman I found, right? His name is Chief Cusco, right? And he was actually the chief of the Hassana Misco, right? But this is what he looked like. Now, I'm quite sure a lot of people have seen this image of this brother right here, right? Which this is actually the Nasser Garrett, okay? This is actually the Nasser Garrett, right? No, I'm sorry. Let me go back up. It's actually the Nasser Garrett, okay? Some more images of the chief in the back here. See? Look, all Negroes. You see some mestizos and some mulattoes, right? But these are all fucking Negroes, okay? Still Negroes to this day, right? Look, more Negroes. So these niggas dressing up like Indians playing games when they already found Proto-Negro cranios in Massachusetts and in Rhode Island? Are you out of your mind? Well, let's go into it, right? Boom. Quite sure people have seen this image. It's kind of blurry, but we're going to get through this, right? These are the Pequots, right? So the Nasser Garretts was once part of the Wapanaki, which they are kind of similar in between. And I'm quite sure you already know about that because you said your family was Metacon or King Philip, who would have been Nasser Garrett too. But they flipped on the Wapanaki, right? But nonetheless, we're gonna get into all this shit, right? So boom, they find cranios, proto-Negroes, all the way in Massachusetts and all the way in Rhode Island, right? Now let's deal with this, right? So Rhode Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts it's all in the same regions, right? So these are the Pequots, right? Wait a minute, I got some updated pictures of them. They go to Pequots. Now look, she probably married into the tribe, right? She probably married into the tribe. Cause I know nigga like not a coincidence. He be swirling and shit, right? So he'll probably let one of these Europeans up in the tribe. But as we can see, all these people are Negroes. I don't give a fuck. She's a Negro too. So like all of these people are Negroes, right? But wait a minute. Wait a minute, A1. Do we have some more information to support this? Oh shit, we got some more information to support this. These are also the fucking Pequots, right? Now, oh, these are all of the so-called Indians was killed off, right? All of them was killed off, and then only the Africans exist, which they are brown skinned and they're being called Negroes, and then some of the Africans are saying they're Indian. Which one is the fucking truth? We are the Aborigines of this land, and it's unrefutable. Okay, so look, more images of some beautiful Pequot sisters, right? Look, we got more. See this? More. Okay, ain't come out that clear, but y'all get it, right? So let me go into something else. Should I do that? Let me see something real quick. All right, so he brought up the Yamasee, right? So this is called the Yamasee description, right? So in this so-called book, it says he describes the Yamasee as having dark skin, coarse hair, and thick lips. Okay, now look, it's an article right here that I showed. Not a coincidence, because I stay teaching him. Right, he stay learning over here. Good, he's a good student, right? But he's a very mischievous student. He's a very foolish student, right? So look, let's get into this shit right here, right? Now I'm not saying none of this shit. I wasn't around. I probably was out there doing whatever I was doing. Boom. Nonetheless, though, how it go, right? So in this article, this House of Representatives, document 179, it's saying reported to the Industrial Commission on Agriculture and Agriculture Labor, right? Washington General Printing Office, year 1901. Okay. Now it's gonna be a little. You're gonna have to kind of dodge a little bit of shit, but we're gonna get into it, right? In this, he talks about the Negro population in South Carolina for 20 years. There haven't been no disturbances and nobody been killed, etc. Right? So it's saying that is the statement of the mayor of Beaufort County. Not a coincidence. He wasn't even around in 1901. Are you out of your mind? It's saying the mayor of Beaufort County. Now it's saying perhaps is the blackest spot in the whole South. That is to say that the Negro population predominates more there than anyone else. It said there, wait, is a peculiar historical fact connected with the town that I would like to mention to the commission. That is the place where the federal troops first set the Negroes free. Let's dodge that one. It said it was done on those islands in the neighborhood of Beaufort, and there are
2
now
minutes and
there
40 seconds. 2
the
minutes and 40
predominant race, the predominant race. This man refused to them as a quiet community. The more peculiar thing is, according to Fitch in his book on the human race assertions, is the fact that the Africans. Now look, we just said what the people said the first Americans resemble. Just because they saying that they Africans, they only saying that because dark skinned people and they trying to throw us the fuck off. But however it go, right? It say African people lived on these islands long before the discovery of America. So these people wasn't even around to find out where they came from. They don't know that they African. They're only saying that because of the storyline of what's being proposed to us today, right? Okay. Um, real quick, let me run through this real quick, man. So One thing I want to show right here, real quick. Let me just run through this, AP. I got you.
Minute and a half.
Matter of fact, you know what? Nah, we're gonna go here. All right, so look, this is the Lenape right here, right? Now we already know how some of these tribes be mixing in with everybody, trying to make it seem like they all are mixed people, right? But let me see something. It's a lot of mixed people within the Lenni Lenape, right? Some images of some of them. You can actually see the Negroes, right? Most of them, the majority of them Negroes, right? Look, this the Shinnecock Nation right here. Look, these are Shinnecocks. 1975, nigga. Before any fucking DNA came out, bro. You think these people are out of their mind? They just making this shit up? These are all sisters right here. Okay, you see maybe some mulattoes in the back, but the ones that they picturing right here is sisters. Okay. Hold up for 1 second. And I'll just run through this real quick, just for the people.
Your time been up.
My time is up, so all right, okay.
Brutality.
Uh-oh. God damn, he came with some heat. That was like a little mini lecture right there, bro. I ain't gonna lie, that was some heat, not a coincidence. I know you ready, my boy. Shout out to Taunting this one, man. Just laid down some heat. Y'all get in that comment section. Get ready to let me know who y'all think won, man. We're gonna put the polls up real soon. But first, we got not a coincidence. Uh-oh. Let's go. Coming to the light, goddammit. Let's go. And Taunting this one just blazed this bit. That's a hard one to follow after. Go ahead, not a coincidence. You got the flow, man. I'm out of here.
So yeah, all he did was something called.
Hold on. We waiting on your time. Go ahead, DJ Cuddy. All right, time started now. Let's go.
So all he did was do something called appeal to emotion, arguing through feelings rather than facts. He didn't show no facts. He showed a bunch of pictures. The appeal to emotion is a logical fallacy that involves manipulating people's emotion to strengthen their support for the conclusion of an unsound argument. So we've been listening to A1 all night. What facts did he give us? Nothing. He didn't give us anything. He tried to manipulate some things. Like he tried to go to Jack D. Forbes, but he doesn't really show you what's really in the book, right? So Jack D. Forbes tells you, so he says, the purpose here is to illustrate how the term Negro has been applied to the people of American descent. So one of the ways he describes is
Pause. Yeah, you ain't sharing nothing. Hold on. Let me get you on right now.
Oh yeah, run that back. My bad.
I'm gonna run it all the way back. I'm resetting your time and everything.
He got two different ones showing though. He got two different ones in here showing. I'm showing
No. Not a coincidence was at the bottom. Yeah, I got him now. We was showing.
Oh, my bad.
A1.
Run the time back. My bad.
I got it. I got you. A1. I mean, not a coincidence. Yeah. I just caught that. I'm sorry. I just caught it.
You got your full time back, bro. My bad. That's my bad.
Here we go.
So what I said earlier was what all A1 did was appeal to emotion. Right? He didn't give you no facts. He manipulated the 2-3 sources he really did use. He manipulated those, but the appeal to emotion Is a fallacy arguing through the feelings rather than facts. The appeal to emotion is a logical fallacy that involves manipulating people's emotion to strengthen their support for the conclusion of an unsound argument. So, like I said, he showed pictures with white people in it, and then tried to minimize why they're there. He's like, "Oh, that's just a mulatto in the back." He just white lady sitting in the front row with the Indian garb on. He just doesn't mention that. He's just appealing to emotion. Never once did he touch back to before 1492. That's what we still trying to get to. That's what the debate is about. He's showing you people in the 1900s. He never left the 1900s. This is crazy. So he went to this book, the use of the term Negro and Black to include persons of Native American ancestry in Anglo North America by Jack D. Forbes, right? So he just read a little part, whatever. He just tried to show that, whatever, but he forgets, he doesn't read the whole thing. So once we get down here, Jack D. Forbes tell you the purpose here is to illustrate how the term Negro has also been applied to people of American descent, right? So he goes into it, and what he talks about is how these people are not called Negro because they're Black. They're called Negro because they got them enslaved. Nothing about them being Black. So the possibility that Native Americans were quite commonly called Negroes is very much supported by Portuguese usage. During the colonial period, Brazilian Indians were repeatedly referred to as Negroes or Negros de Terra, Negroes of the land. A great many examples from the 16th and later centuries are cited by George Frederici in the analysis of Portuguese sources. These do not have to be repeated here, but suffice to say that it was so commonly that finally in 1755, a royal decree had to be issued. So in 1755, they told them to stop. So among the regrettable practices which have resulted in the disparagement of the Indians, one prime abuse is the unjustifiable and scandalous practice of calling them Negroes. Perhaps by doing, the intent was no other than to induce in them the belief that by their origins, they had been destined to be the slaves. Perhaps by doing so, the intent was no other than to induce in them the belief by their origins they had been destined to be slaves, not Black. So they had been destined to be slaves of whites, as in general conceded to be the case of the Blacks from the coast of Africa. So here, even in Jack D. Forbes' book, he's making a distinction. He's not saying that these Indians are Black. He's never once saying that. He's saying, yeah, they was called Negro because these colonial Portuguese people had them enslaved. So they had Negroes, they usually had enslaved. So Negroes de Terra just simply, it might sound like Black of the land, but they use it in the context of the slaves of this slave. They're not using it in the context of their skin color. The directive will not permit henceforth that anybody may refer to any Indian as Negro, nor that themselves may use that epithet among themselves as is currently the case. So after 1755, even if they was calling them Negro, after 1755, that stopped if we going by A1 source. But again, what he does is cherry pick. So he gives you little pieces to make it sound good. But when we get to the juices and what it's really about, it don't say what he's saying. Like I showed you with James Chatters, with Naya and Lucia. Yeah, he's saying that they're different, but guess what? He's still saying they came from somewhere else. He's still saying they related to the Native Americans that you see today. He leaves that out. So if there's 3 tenements of being Aboriginal, 2 out of the 3 is knocked off if you listen to James Chatter in A1. So this is another thing that he showed you. He showed you this. I don't know why he showed you this. That was silly. I have no clue, but we're gonna see. See, he likes to just show. He likes to show just the little screenshots. I'm gonna give you the whole book. Like you see, this is the whole book, right? And the book is the Report of Industrial Commission on Agriculture and Agricultural Labor. So A1, he's always he's the meme king. He comes with no information. But let me show you what they really say. And I don't even know why he showed this, because if I was y'all, I would have told him, like, what's wrong with you? So yeah, he read all this part, so I don't have to say that. But in this source, look what they say. He is high authority, and he says the Yamasee Indians were Negroes, what were known afterwards as the fiercest of the Indian tribes of the South. The well-known Yamasee Indians were Africans. Why, like, what's up, A1? Why would you show this? This makes no sense. We can see it clear as day. We're African. So let me get to the second part of the debate. It's, who are we the descendants of those people? And I believe, and mostly I believe, the best way to find out are we the descendants of these people is to look at the history, the oral history that was left behind by these people. So you can find this manuscript. It's a manuscript number 40. You can go to firstblacks.org and see this primary source. It's dated October 9th, 1594. The theme is a black African man was sold as a slave by French smugglers on La Espagnole northern coast, claimed a right to freedom based on his African original social status and nobility. This is a court case, right? So here is some translations from the court case, and this is a little part in here that we're gonna focus on, right? So here it is right here. This is it. Here's it right here, written out so we can see it. But it says, all right, on the left, witness Sebastian, and after what was said on the 9th day of the said month of October, and in the said year, for the said inquiry before the said honorable judge, oath was lawfully taken and received from Sebastian. Like I said, this is a court case. We got this man, he's testifying in court. So this is his own words. They said an oath was lawfully taken and received from Sebastian Crillo, originally from Guinea, Ladino, and he is said to be Christian, who today, the said day, came to the house of the said honorable judge to request justice for himself, for he is free and has been brought by the French in Northern Strip. And after taking oath and being asked about the reason for the complaint and beginning of this business, said that the witness is Creole from Vaganda, which is in Guinea, and that he is the son of a king of such people. And when this witness was coming from the said town by sea of Sierra Leone on the vessel of Gaspar de Agua, which may have been more or less a year ago, the witness was the page boy. Page boy is somebody that works on a boat of the said captain, since he was being paid for it. And while sailing, they were encountered by the French captain Bivel. So he's explaining how he was kidnapped from the coast of Africa and then sold to America. And like I said, this is from 1594. So A1 never left the 1900s. Here we got Paul Cuffey. Everybody knows who Paul Cuffey is. People should know that he's mixed. He's African and Indian, right? So we have a petition for relief from taxation, March 14th, 1780. The petition for poor Negroes and mulattoes, that we being chiefly of the African descent. So he's not saying that he's all African. He's just saying that the group that he's among is chiefly majority African, and by reason of long bondage and hard slavery, we have been deprived of enjoying the profits of our labor or the advantage of inheriting estates from our parents as our neighbors, the white people, do, having some of us not long enjoyed our freedom. And here we go. Inside the primary, we can see right here.
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
We got here, right here, Negroes and mulattoes, underlined. Says that we being chiefly of the African extract. So yes, it does say African. And here the date, March 14th, 1780. And on the back of that document, we have the signees here. We have Paul Cuffey's brother John, and then we have Paul Cuffey here, along with a couple other people. So like I said, the debate is about who did these people say they was, right? I haven't heard A1 say who anybody was, except that he just showed pictures. I don't know what them people would say if we actually asked them. So here we have Peter Williams Jr. He was born in New Jersey. He was an abolitionist who also supported free black immigration to Haiti, the Black Republic that had achieved independence in 1804 in the Caribbean. In the 1820s and 30s, he strongly opposed the American Colonization Society efforts to relocate free blacks to the colony of Liberia and West Africa. And that wasn't because he wasn't African. He just didn't think that we should go all the way back there because we're so many generations away, right? So in 1827, he was a co-founder of the Freedom Journal, which is one of our earliest newspapers, the first African-American owned and operating newspaper for us, by us. So this man, he was doing things. So, but on 1808, he had an oration that was delivered at the African Church. At the African Church, January 8th, right? 1808. So here on the cover, you see it says by Peter Williams Jr., a descendant of Africa. Right. So when we go inside the book, we see this is on page 11. These are a couple excerpts from the book. But to us Africans and descendants of Africans, this period is deeply interesting. We have felt the sad effects of this abominable traffic. It has made, if not ourselves, our forefathers and kinsmen, its unhappy victims, and pronounced on them and their posterity the sentence of perpetual slavery. So like I said, they talk about this. They also talk about how they got here. It says mutual agreements were then made. The Europeans were to supply Africans with those gaudy triflers, which are like just like shiny objects, the things that really don't have any value, which so strongly affected them. And the Africans in return were to grant the Europeans their prisoners of war and convicts of slaves. That's on page 15 of this oration, written in 1808. Mind you, A1 didn't leave the 1900s. Right, so here we have Thomas Jennings. Right, this is an interesting guy. Thomas Jennings is the first African American or black man, businessman to receive a patent. If you look him up, he's the first one to get a patent. Here's a news article from 1821 talking about it. It was for the dry cleaning services. Right, so he was born in New York. He was born free. So no, not every black person was enslaved, and we still told this story. So this is an expert from his address from 1828. So him being a businessman, him having money, of course, he was into the civil rights movement, and this is what he says on one of the speeches he gave to the Mutual Relief Society. Our claims are on America. It is the land that gave us birth. It is the land of our nativity. We know no other country. It is a land in which our fathers have suffered and toiled. They have watered it with their tears and fanned it with sighs. Our relationship with Africa is the same with the white man is with Europe. Only with this difference, the one immigrated voluntarily, the other forced from the home and all its pleasures. We have passed through several generations in this country, and consequently we have become naturalized. Our habits, our manners, our passions, and our disposition have become the same. I might as well tell the white man about England, France, or Spain, the country from whence his forefathers immigrated, and call him European as him call us African. The argument will hold as good to one case as the other. Africa is foreign to us as the Europe is to them. The key point to take from this is he's saying that we've been in America for a long time now. Yeah, we came from Africa, but that was a while ago. So again, nobody's denying being African, they're actually talking about it. And that's the excerpt from this news article that was printed from the Freedom Journal, April 4th, 1828. You go look that up.
4 minutes and 30 seconds.
How long?
4 minutes and 30 seconds.
Here we have Henry Highland Garnett. He was born in Maryland. Another person that was a prominent person in the movement of Black people in America. Having escaped as a child from slavery in Maryland with his family, right? He did that. After that, he became an educator, a minister, abolitionist. People try to throw shade on those things, but if you really understood the history, you wouldn't. So on Sunday, February 12, 1865, he delivered a sermon in our U.S. House of Representatives. He's the first colored man who was on any occasion spoken in our national capital. On the occasion of Congress passing on January 31st of the 13th Amendment ending slavery, right? So here we got his book, Garnett's Memorial Discourse. So here's a passage from the book. His ancestors did not come over in the Mayflower, nor land at Plymouth Rock, nor kiss the Blarney Stone of the Pilgrim's fathers. On the contrary, his grandfather was stolen by slave traders from the coast of Africa, survived by the horrors of the Middle Passage on a ship doubtless owned in Bristol, Boston, land on the James River, was then transferred to the state of Colonel William Spencer. So you see this oral history. These people, when you go further back, they know where they came from. They know the people who took part in whatever, and you can find that on page 17. That introduction was given by James McCune Smith, who was the first African American to receive a medical degree and to open a pharmacy in New York. So another on page 75 to 76, he talks about going to the shores of the land of my forefathers and bleeding Africa. So we talk about this. A1's not going to show you what the people actually talked about. He's just gonna show you pictures, and that's it. So here we have King Blue. He was a Chickasaw freedman. He led Negroes in a rebellion right here in 1894 for they wasn't getting their just due. Right here he goes on the freedman rolls. So the former slave formed a political organization and appointed people to represent their concerns before Congress in Washington, D.C. And one of those individuals was King Blue, who was enslaved by Benjamin Colbert, a member of the large slaveholder Colbert family of Chickasaw Indians. So I hate to say, a lot of y'all come by way of, especially in those areas. So here's the eloquent request of the memorial of the Chickasaw freedmen. And in that, here's some excerpts from it. This was written in 1882. So it was written in 1882. This piece is one of the most eloquent documents written by freedmen leaders King Blue and Isaac Alexander. They made it appeal in the form of a document called the Memorial Chickasaw Freedmen. In this document, their plight and their plea for assistance from the United States is felt by the reader. It is produced on this page in its entirety. So a couple things to take from that document, you can look it up. If you punch in the eloquent protest of the Chickasaw Freedmen in 1882, it's going to come right up for you. So in that document, they mention being African descent 24 times. They say they are the residents of Chickasaw Nation, an area, person of African descent. They say your memorials represent not only themselves, but also that class of person known in the nations, a person of African descent, of which class there are about 3,000 individuals. So, like I said, the black people, they spoke for themselves and they said who they was, and there's no doubt about it. If we go back to the beginning, like I said, the topic was black people in America before 1492. I showed you the Hopewell Mounds. I showed you how these people are not related to you. I showed you what type of people you are related to with Fatima Jackson, a black woman. He didn't touch anything. He didn't touch any archaeological sites. He didn't go anywhere near 1492 because he can't, because that term black and Negroes, that doesn't get applied to these people till after colonization.
Tom, brother. Good job, man. This was a fire ass fucking debate, y'all. Shout to everybody in the building, man. Shout to everybody in the building, man. We're gonna take a quick. Hey, we not done though. We not done. We're gonna bring these brothers back for a question and rebuttal round. Man, drop a fire emoji. Y'all ready for the rebuttal round, man? Are y'all ready for the rebuttal round? Also, man, I need everybody in the comment section to drop their fire emojis in the chat. I need y'all to get in there and let me know who y'all thought won this, man. I need y'all to let me know who y'all got winning this. All right. Poll is in the chat, man. Y'all turn up with that. Also, it'll be a post poll after we release the debate on YouTube. It'll be another poll set up. Not a coincidence. We'll be able to share this to all his friends, buddies, and be able to stream it on his live stream beforehand. All that good stuff to put up his poll so we can take note. Shout out to everybody that's in the building too, man. This is gonna be one of those ones. As we get DJ Cuddy to play a little music, we'll be back in a second as these brothers gather their questions and rebuttals. I'm gonna let these brothers gather their questions and rebuttals. We'll be back in just a second. Let's go. Don't forget. Tomorrow, 7:00 p.m. Aboriginal Power versus Rob Bourne. Don't forget to go to the videos, the past live streams. Links is in the description box. Make sure y'all get y'all tickets for that debate tomorrow, man. Y'all know I'm coming to show up, to show out, right? Y'all know I'm coming to show up, to show out, right? All right. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's get it, DJ Cuddy. Turn up.
They should get cool. I'll tolerate for niggas. Show me different one time I'll fuck with you. I'll tolerate for niggas. Show me different one time I'll fuck with you. I'll tolerate for niggas. Show me different one time I'll fuck with you. I'll tolerate for niggas. Show me different one time I'll fuck with you. Red had my bed before we started, bitch, I'm Caesar. Came from the get-go, knew my status, he ain't needed. I'll tolerate for niggas. Show me different one time I'll fuck with you. Red had my bed before we started, bitch, I'm Caesar. Came from the get-go, knew my status, he ain't needed. Fresh out the pen and I'm just happy, kept on breathing. Whole time bitch was scheming. Lean, but I ain't seen it. Hanging around the niggas who think smile make you bigger. Hanging around the niggas think they hard don't make you killers. Hanging around the niggas you just met, they ain't your niggas. Heard they snatch you up like cool, like shit. Loyalty ain't cool no more, niggas rather be hoes. Lucky I don't pimp no more, I would've put you on. Loyalty ain't cool no more, niggas rather be hoes. Lucky I don't pimp no more, I would've put you on.
Let go. Shout out to everybody in the motherfucking building, man. Y'all know who this is. It's our brother out there for the power, man. I want to see y'all there, man. Make sure y'all get y'all tickets, man. I need all the support we can get for this one tomorrow, man. It's a lot going on, and we coming to rock the house. We coming to bring it down. We coming to smoke a Pan-African. We coming to establish our points. We coming to bring Rob on head and put it on the wall, man. Shout out to all the. It's your brother, Aboriginal Power. Make sure y'all tune into that debate tomorrow, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Big Aboriginal Power versus Rob Boy, man. Make sure y'all tune in, man. Let's go. Let's go.
Brutality.
Let's bring these two brothers back in. Before we go, man, this is the rebuttal in question round.
Come here.
Rebuttal in question, man. So, yeah, man. Get over here, nigga. Finish him. Fatality.
Brutality.
Yeah.
Finish him.
Yeah, all that good shit. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. So how we gonna do this questioning and rebuttal round, man? I just want to let y'all brothers go back and forth. I'm gonna ask a couple questions, and in the midst of y'all getting it in, man. So I'm gonna just sit back. We can start the time. I think we can give this a 10 to 15 minutes. What you think, DJ Cuddy, on the rebuttal round? What you think?
Man, I'll tell you what, they're gonna go back and forth with each other and engage each other.
Yeah, periodically I stop and ask for questions and clarity. You can stop the time as I stop, brother DJ Cuddy. But yeah, yep. They're gonna go back and forth. What y'all thinking?
You say 20 minutes, you say?
20 minutes sounds good to me. What you think, y'all brothers? Y'all good with that?
Yeah.
Hey man, y'all drop them fire emojis in the chat, man. Y'all ready, man? Y'all drop them fire emojis in the chat, man. Here it goes, man. The rebuttal.
Round one.
Wrong round. This is round 4, really, huh?
It's the rebuttal round. Let's get
Here
it.
we go.
Come here.
Y'all niggas can open up your mics at any time. Y'all got it.
All right, so A1, why didn't you show anything from prior to 1492? Why was that part of your
I
strategy?
showed an article of Naya with 81 scars from 7,500 to 11,000 years ago. The shit where no. If the Bering Strait was dealing with modern Native Americans, right? The Bering Strait. Remember the pseudo shit that you niggas be referencing? Remember, 11,000 years ago, right? He's saying the first Americans was here before them. So how the fuck Africa wasn't even called Africa. But all of that is part of eugenics. I started off with Walter Plecker to let you know who his friends and who he was working for. He was working for the Eugenic Society, and therefore they classified us all as Africans. That was part of their pseudoscience that they was talking about. Now, when I read the term Negro,
so do you?
The term Negro should not say the term. Wait, the term Negro should not say nothing about no Indians if it's Africans, unless the Indians was dark skinned, like all of the articles that I presented said. And also with the so-called tribes who still claiming it, that you're in denial of. They're Africans who had sex with Native Americans, right?
So A1, what you're doing is like you read from Walter Plecker. What he said was anybody of color, basically anybody not white, they're gonna call color. So that doesn't mean that hold on, I interrupt you. Hold on. So that don't mean that these Indians are the same as black people, because like I showed you in the article, he makes the distinction and says that they're mixed with Negro blood. So never once was he confusing them with Negroes. He's saying they mixed with Negroes, so he knows that they're two different people. Different people. And when it comes, I'm gonna end right here. When it comes to James Chatters, like I brought up, he brings up two other things that relates them to the Native Americans of today. All you got is that he says that they skull shape is different. That don't mean it's you, bro.
All right. I'm gonna say James Chatter for last. But back to Walter Plecker, right? He classified Indians as colored, right? So these Indians as colored, see, that so-called thing that Walter Plecker did was started in 1860. And I showed you that. I showed you on the 1860 census and the free inhabitants and what they was classified Indians that was living off of their nation. I like to say tribe, living away from their nation. They was to be classified as colored, and they was basically pay taxes like the rest of the citizens. Right?
So no, that's
So
not true.
I'm not
If
done
you
yet. I'm
if
not
you
done
pull
yet.
it
I'm
up,
not
it's
done
not
yet. I'm
true.
not done. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. So if they classified them as colored, they put IND under colored. Okay, we went through a whole organization called the NAACP. I'm quite sure some of these Indians who then strayed away from their tribe or their nation would have been part of the NAACP or whatever, right? But obviously, we see no evidence of that. We only see Negroes. We only see Negroes. So Africans was classified as colors along with Indians as well, right? You got Africans classified as colors along with Indians. Then you got Indians classified as Negroes. Then you got African American classified as Negro. All these people is the fucking same. And you are falling under eugenics and the general education system. And you're spewing this shit back to the people, keeping them more confused. I added clarity. I showed what the term Negro meant. I showed what the term Negro meant. Oh, copper color. Oh, bam. Let's see what copper color means, since we keep saying this shit, right? Showed that. Had other sources, man. I could have went for another 3 hours on your
So
ass.
hold on, A1.
I
When did
I
you
ain't even
show?
really get into my bag. I was just getting warmed up. But you killed yourself. You fell on your own sword because you read my same source saying Negro the terror, and you can't in your mind come up with no explanation to why the fuck they was
No, hold
calling them
on.
Negro.
Now let me go. Now I showed, like I showed everybody. I read it plain as day. They didn't call them Negroes because they was black. They called them Negroes because they was enslaved, and that's what the paper says. That's what your source says. You're trying to do some bullshit and trying to flip it. Now, when you bring up the census, and we can go to it right now, and I bet you won't bring it up because it don't say to classify Indians as colored. It says classify Indians as Indians. That's exactly what you're saying.
So why would it be put
Pull
under
it
a
up.
column? Do you know what a
Pull it up.
spreadsheet is? Do you
I
know
know
what a
it. I
spreadsheet?
know.
The
I
column,
know.
look, the title that's at top of the column is what basically references everything that beyond
Yeah.
all this sub
When you
level.
go to the instructions,
Nah,
when you go
money
to the
grip,
we can go to. I'm
brother, my
gonna pull it
dude.
up.
You
When we
can
go
go.
to
I
the
mean, you can pull
instructions,
whatever
it
you
clearly
want up.
says.
You
It
can say
clearly
it straight
says when you come across an Indian, label them as Indian, and you know that.
label them as Indian. Label them as
Yes.
colored. Label
No,
them
it
as
does not say that.
colored.
So
Label
pull it
them
up.
as
Pull it up
colored.
then.
It says
Pull it
label them
up.
as colored.
Pull it up.
As
This is a
colored. Man,
debate.
listen,
Source
the
up. This is a
debate is
debate. Pull
over
it
with.
up.
If we still, I mean, I got some other shit I want to show you. I mean, if you want to see it, you want to see.
No,
I
pull
got
up.
some
Pull up.
some
Pull up that
bonus.
census.
Look, I got a
Pull up.
bonus round for y'all in the chat room.
Pull
You
up
really want it.
those instructions you talking about.
I'm not pulling up nothing, brother. I
Because
already
that's where that
showed and
comes
proved.
from. I
Listen, my
know,
dude,
because you
I
can't.
already showed and proved what I need to show and prove. If you want me to show and prove further, I can go into it further. If you you don't want to just take this L, if you don't just want to take this L and go in your motherfucking shell and
I'm
sit
gonna
there,
show.
nigga,
I'm gonna show everybody.
you can show whatever you want. All right, I mean AP. If he shows something, then I'm gonna be allowed to show something.
Yeah, that we are allowed to show something. It's a debate.
Hey,
right.
it's free reign right now, man.
Fatality.
Yeah, man, it's free reign.
Go ahead, show what you gonna show, my dude.
Finish him.
Oh, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. Here we go. Here we go.
My third blunt, man. Just there, my third package.
So remember, he said the 1860 census, right, y'all? So let's go. These are instructions. I'm about to. Hold on. Relax. I'm demonstrating now. This is what a debate is. 1860 census. Instructions to the marshals. So we're gonna go right here. So like he said, he tried to say color, right? He said if they said label Indian as colored. Now let's read exactly what it says and show why A1 shouldn't be in front of anybody talking to anybody about anything. It says color under heading 6, entitled color. In all cases where the person is white, leave the space blank. In all cases where the person is black, without mixture, insert the letter B. If a mulatto or mixed blood, write M. If Indian, write IND. It is very desirable to have these directions carefully observed. So he tried to say in 1860, this classification started. But like I'm showing you, on the 1860 census to the U.S. Marshals. Under that, he said that box where it says color, they tell you if you come across an Indian, write IND. So in 1860, if your people was Indian, they would be Indian because ain't nobody hiding nothing. It clearly says if an Indian, write Indian. So I don't know what you got to say about that.
Indians not taxed are not. Wait, hold on, let me share my screen real quick.
All right, go ahead. Hold on.
I got some other shit.
Finish him. Y'all got them fired.
You can't fuck with me, A1. Like you over here lying to these people. Word, and
I
like,
can't
that's
fuck
just
with
it.
you. Really?
Nah, you go to the 1860 census, you ain't know what you was talking about.
No problem. No sweat.
Label Indian as colored. It don't say that. It don't say that.
Okay,
I know you better. So you better go to another subject. You better. You gotta retire that one.
You know the fuck.
You gotta retire that one. You can't say that 1860 census. It started in 1860.
Finish him.
Oh, Plabimo. Let's get into it, my dude. You sit up here. You pump faking, my dude. You the one cherry picking this shit. You the one cherry picking. All right, so boom. Let's go to the top of this right here real quick. All right, boom. So it said defining mixed blood Indians in colonial Virginia and in the Carolinas, right? So right here. All right, so let's say right here. In 1794, August 18th, right? It's saying registered free papers of Nancy Coleman, a dark brown, well-made mulatto woman. It's saying freed by the judgment of the General Court and John Hardaway, being a descendant of Indians. Okay, in 1798, February 10th, registered free papers of Daniel Coleman, a dark brown free Negro or Indian. Okay, look. A dark skinned free, a dark brown free Negro or Indian. Why would they get an African mixed up with being a motherfucking Aborigine, right? Formerly held as a slave by Joseph Hardaway, right? But obviously he obtained his papers and got free, right? So you got another one right here. You got Hager Jumper, a dark brown mulatto or Indian woman. Short, bushy hair, obtained her freedom from Stephen Dance, being a descendant of Indians. 1805, May 27th, registered free paper. Betty Coleman, a dark brown Negro woman, formerly held as a slave by John Hardaway. The General Court freed her. Why? Being a descendant of an Indian. I'm not done yet. Let's get into some more shit. Since you wanna rattle my cage, right?
Come here.
A matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna show you something real quick, right? Check this out. You always talk about the slavery shit, right? You love to talk about the slavery shit. And check this out. This one for you guys. Watch it. Don't take this move, all right? Watch this move right here, right? This gonna be a funky dope maneuver right here. Check this out, right?
Finish
This
him.
is from Brown University, right? Now I don't even deal with the whole topic of Indian slavery, unless like they're saying that some of these people was put into servitude for numerous reasons, okay? But let's understand what they're saying. And being as though that this guy actually believes in the slave trade, right? Colonial enslavement of Native Americans included those who surrendered to, all right? So and look, it say King Philip War. Remember his uncle, his grandparents is King Philip and shit, right? So I just want you to look at the count. Native American slavery is a piece of history of slavery that has been glossed over, Fisher said, between 1492, look, 1492 and 1880. Between 2 and 5.5 million Native Americans was enslaved in America, in addition to the 12.5 million African slaves. Now remember, there wasn't no 12.5 million African slaves, right? It was only 10 and then they claim that they were scattered out. But in all these places, like we just went to Brazil, we just heard Richard Neves and the skeletons that they found, there was already Negroes there, just like every fucking place else, right? But because he believed in slavery, so according to them, they enslaved 2 to 5.5 million so-called Aborigines here, right? Now, these Aborigines, let me ask you a question, not a coincidence. Would these Aborigines be on the same plantations that the Africans would be on?
Possibly in the Caribbean. Yep.
No, we talking about in North America.
Come here.
Oh, there was absolutely. That's why they mixed like that, and that's why some people.
That's why they
died.
was able to mix. That's the reason why.
But how do you just jump over the 12.5 million African slaves? How are you cherry picking that?
It wasn't 12.5 million.
No, your source says that. Your source says it though.
Okay, I'm not going.
How are you doing that? I know, but so why bring it up?
Slavevoid.org right now.
Come on, bro. I just let you talk. Let you talk.
Okay, you asked me a question. What? You asked me.
I didn't. I'm not asking you no question right now. I'm pointing out the fact that this man just pulled up a source from Brown University. His source. This is what cherry picking is about.
Hold on. First, just to be fair, stop the time, DJ Cuddy. You did ask, what about why did you jump over the 12.5 million slaves? I guess.
All right, Mod, can you make sure that he answers the question for me?
Absolutely.
I'll let him go ahead. I would like an answer to that.
That question is for you, A1. Why did you jump over the 12.5 million slaves that's mentioned in that article?
Do we need to go to slavevoid.org?
Come here.
I don't hold up. Oh nah, I don't even have it up here, but we don't really need to even do this, right? On slavevoid.org, it said that
so why did you jump over this particular article? I just want to know. Elaborate to the people before you get in.
Why did I bring up this article?
No. Why did you not mention the 12.5 million African slaves that's mentioned in that article?
Look, check this out. If we go to slavevoid.org, they saying that now in North America, they only brought 130,000 people here. Now, them 130,000 so-called slaves that, all of this shit is ambiguous and fucking confusing unless you really come to some
outdated. So you pretty much say you jumped over that because they have now come to new conclusions.
No, because there wouldn't be no Africans here. The Africans would have been beyond intermingled.
So
5.5 million people.
So A1, why don't you go to Slave Voyage and show us where it says that only 100-something thousand came to the Americas? This is talking about the Americas, North, South, all the islands. Show us where it says only 100,000 came to the Americas.
I think he said 300,000.
Whatever number. That I'm telling you, Slave Voyager says 12 million. We could read it right here. Look, it says 12 million African people right there was sent across the Atlantic as slaves. It says it right there. It says it right there.
Okay, all right.
We're talking about North America though. So let's get into
it. But his source didn't mention North America, bro. His source mentioned all of the moderator. His source mentioned all of the America.
Hold on. Did the source mention North America?
It mentioned the Americas.
Oh, okay. Confirm.
Okay, so it mentioned Americas, right? So look. The total, look.
12.5, right?
Hold up, but that ain't even right because they changed.
That's right. It is.
No,
right.
They changed it. It was 10 million.
They didn't change
out of
anything.
the 12 million, only 10 million made
they
it.
Say what they say. Made it. But that's a long way from your 100 to 300,000. You just said 100,000.
Wait. Hold on. I got this.
That's that was your claim. You just made that claim live.
Relax.
I'm starting the time.
You said the Brown University source.
Relax.
I am relaxed. You said the Brown University source was wrong because the number said 12.5 million, but that number's different. And we can go to Slave Voyage and see it's different. When we go to Slave Voyages, the first page said 12 million. When you went all the way to the end, you try to hide it. It said 12.5 million. Slave Voyages didn't switch their numbers, bro. You are distorting the facts. That's what you're doing.
That's what I'm
doing. Absolutely are.
Okay.
You absolutely are.
You're right, bro. You're absolutely.
I know. That's when we went on the title page. That's exactly what it said. It said A1 is lying right now. So now you're gonna try to adjust something to manipulate the stats. The Brown University source coincides with the 12.5 million that Slave Voyager said. So the Brown University source is right.
Nah, Money Grip. It only say 12 on here. Say 10. They didn't change.
All right.
Shit,
so
man.
do you? So
wait. Let me
know
find this. Let me find what I'm
is?
looking for. All right. Just let me find what I'm looking for. Let me find what I'm looking for because they didn't change it.
Well, in the
like this.
meantime, you should concentrate. Let me talk.
I should concentrate.
Yeah, because it looked like you're having a hard time
I'm
manipulating
having a
the
hard
stats.
time. Okay, all right.
It looked like you're having a hard time manipulating the stats, bro.
I don't really.
Like
you know
I
what?
said, that
Look,
shit coincides with
here
what
we go
your
right here. All
source
right,
said.
here we go right here. Look. Here we go.
Get
right
over here!
That. Here we go. Right here, Money Grip.
Okay.
Here we go right here. Right. Hold up.
So what are you trying to say?
What am I trying to say? You about to see right now? Relax.
Because the Brown, remember what the claim was. You said the Brown University source is wrong because Slave Voyages says that 12.5 didn't come to the Americas. You just try to isolate. You just like
right here.
Try to isolate shit.
It says Northern United States right here. These are all the people that came. It say right here, Maine. I'm gonna highlight it for you right here, right, guy. Mainland North America, right? Northern United States, Chesapeake, Carolinas, Georgia, Gulf States, USA, and unspecified, right? So you got 28,984. It's saying disembark. Well, no, I'm gonna just count the embark numbers: 8,318, 87,733, 9,750, 626. Add all of this up, and you tell me what the fuck the total you got for disembarkment in the mainland of North America.
So wait. Hold on. What does embark mean? What does embark mean?
Embark means the people that was taken from where they came from.
Yeah, they people that got on the shit.
And disembark, yes, it's
showing people in mainland America who got on the ship. It ain't talking about people that came from Africa.
So this is the disembark.
They're not talking about people that came from Africa.
So all right, so hold up. So they just had a local ship like a subway that was just going around and people were just like, you know what? You go on my way, let me jump on you. Or did they have a slave trade like you niggas been saying all along?
Look at the isolated incidents and stop making these broad claims. Yes, bro, you're wrong. You ain't showing how that
Don't need to do that.
You did not show how the Brown University source is wrong.
Look, you know what?
Like no matter what you do, the title page said 12 million. When you first went on it, when it had the total of everything, it said 12.5 million. The Brown University said 12 million. Only a biased person can see that you're just trying to fumble around with the numbers.
I'm trying to be so.
Anybody in the chat who disagrees with me right now?
So listen, all right. So look.
You see 12.5 right there.
All right. So wait. Let me make myself clear. You're combining the all America, South America,
That's what
Brazil.
this.
Wait.
Doing,
But no. They talking about Native American. They talking about right here in the Americas, in North America, between 1492.
No, this is nothing about just North America, bro.
So all right. So who the Native?
Look, read it.
Who the Native Americans? So who the Native Americans?
Read it.
Who
it
are
literally says
outside of
Native
North America, brother. Outside of North America, they do not call any of them other tribes Native Americans. Only people they apply that to is North America. See, you will learn.
They talking about no. You trying to play with words. Shit is crazy. It literally says Native Americans, which means these people's slavery is a piece of history.
So look,
of that has been glossed over. Fisher said between 1492 1880, between 2 and 5.5 million Native Americans were enslaved in the Americas. All the Americans. In addition,
Okay.
In addition to 12.5 million, just like Slave Voyager said. So you're wrong about saying
I'm wrong.
That Slave Voyager changed the numbers. I'm glad you said it right. Go ahead. We can move on.
I have something. I have a special.
Can you show how this man is Cisco? Can you show how this man is Cisco?
I had a special part of my presentation set up for you. And I'm just going to go in on it a little bit real quick, right?
Y'all
Now
got a
these
2
are
minute.
You can appeal to
Y'all got a
emotional you
2
want.
minute grace
these are
period. Your
obviously
time is up.
Negroes, right?
You
These
can
are Negroes.
you can appeal to emotional you
we,
want.
Hey,
we're gonna
hold
play.
on. Y'all time is up. I'm gonna give y'all a 2 minute grace period to finish y'all argument. DJ Cuddy put it up, and that's gonna concur this debate. This was a fire one, y'all. Let's go. Hold on. Restart.
Yo, can you share my screen real quick, man?
Yeah, I
Now
got
wait,
you.
I'm gonna go
Just
to. Let me get finished.
anytime. Yeah, I got you.
Look,
Hold
we're
on.
gonna be like, okay, go ahead.
I want to let them share.
So this is what I'm talking about. These people, they make these false claims, right? They think they know something because they heard somebody else say something or whatever. So this is my fourth great grandfather, right? Levy Phillips, right? This is who A1's trying to play around with. Oh, he said that he's a descendant of these people. I didn't say it's in an article. I don't go around saying I am in an article. I could care less. I don't know. I can't prove it. But they do a couple things in this article, right? So, right, they say Paul Jefferson, medicine man, Dr. Levy Phillips, lives to be 100. This is him, Indian guy, right? It said the doctor's grandfather on his mother's side, Samuel Jones, as the white folks named him, was the last king of then the small Rhode Island tribe of the Indians and was known as King Philip. I don't make the claim. The paper does. So here we go right here. So his first wife was Maria Wash Roscoe, a woman of part Shinnecock Indian and part Negro extraction. And this is what I keep trying to tell y'all. There's a distinction. They always talk about distinction all through time. They always know these two people were different. And he can't show you nothing. All he want to do is appeal to emotion and show pictures and look at shit and deny. That's it. What you got to say, A1?
A1, it's your turn. I'm pulling up your screen. Let's go. Hey, put the 2 minute clock up for A1, brother. Brother Cuddy. Put the 2 minute clock up. A1, you got the flow. Let's go. Restart this time so when you're ready. Go ahead, A1. You gotta get ready. A1 walk
All
away.
right, so like I was doing, right? All right. So besides the pseudo shit, this guy believes in DNA. When they wasn't using no DNA on us ever in history, right? When these people was classifying you, who they was classifying you as, they didn't pull out. Let's pull out a DNA and see if this Negro is an African, right? They wasn't doing none of that shit, right? They was just going by the complexion of your skin and what you look like, determining that you was an Aborigine in this land, right? So, like I said, you went in Chief Kisco, right? These are more Aborigines right here, right? You see this? They took the trouble to make sure that they documented these people, bro. And you and other people are the only people who in denial of, like, why would somebody waste their time to make some artifacts? These are the Timbuktu right here, right? And yeah, this is from John Oberly, right? But see, the thing about this is, right? This is the same way the Timbuktu look right here. He got the same shit on. So two people who came to America seen the Timbuktu wearing the same thing with them same crowns that you showed Mansa Musa, who we know as Montezuma, right? Some more images, right? More images, right? More. All these people look like all the people who they described with the archaeology. We seen the image of the people. We seen what the people said who they was, right? Oh, that's America, right? Look, we see all of this shit, right? So all of this shit, with the fact that these people said the first people here was Negroes, right, is a figment of our imagination, right? All these American Indians, right? And all of these people are a figment of our imagination. We ain't supposed to pay none of this no attention. This is no evidence or nothing, right? This is just, this is fantasy right here. They created this Indian drawing like a goddamn like a Superman or a fucking Wonder Woman cartoon, right? Look, you see this? And it's titled America. This is a motherfucking Aborigine. This person right here been classified as Negro and color.
A1, we gotta be honest. All the
Nah, I'm not
pictures you
being honest.
stole.
Nah,
We
I'm
don't
showing
know.
you
I know
other.
you're not being honest.
Nah,
We don't know where none of them
Hold on,
pictures. You didn't
hold on.
source
like,
anything.
Hold on.
we're
You didn't
not.
source anything.
Hold on. This concurs the debate, y'all, man. Shout out to y'all, man. This was a good one, man. It's the end of the rebuttal round. Hey,
Fatality.
we almost at the 3-hour marker, man. This was one of those ones, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. This was a great debate. Make sure y'all get them polls. Make sure y'all get them polls. The debate will be releasing. The debate will be releasing on YouTube. I don't know exactly when. I will be giving announcements on updates on when this particular debate will be getting released, but it will be getting released on YouTube. Shout out to A1. Shout out to Not a Coincidence. We got the crowd here. Is there anything y'all want to say to the viewers that came to support you guys?
Where the poll at? Who won? How you going to cut the shit off without telling a person who the winner is?
Do you guys want to say something to the viewers and to the brothers and sisters?
Yeah.
That's in
Yo,
the chat?
I hope y'all enjoyed it. I appreciate everybody for coming out, supporting. You know, it's good to have these conversations, and I'm glad y'all came to see it happen. We appreciate y'all.
Hey, when you got something to say?
Peace of the gods, man. Peace of goddesses. Thank you for attending this situation. This is definitely a situation right here for Not a Coincidence. And you know, respectfully, hopefully he learned something. You know, hopefully, you know, in the coming times, he will be announcing that he is an Aborigine and he's no longer African. Booty scratcher, quite might that be. Peace to the guys, peace to everybody who came to the presentation and debate. Thank you for attending. Peace.
All right. 6% says Not a Coincidence won, and 91% says the chat says a fatality, but listen.
Of course they would say that.
It will be another
Fatality.
poll. It will be another poll after release. You guys will be able to share it to your peers that wasn't able to buy or purchase the pay-per-view. But whenever it is released, we'll do another poll. Up to now, the chat has spoken. A1 has won the poll.
Yo, I didn't expect nothing less than that. I'm gonna give you the buck.
Hey,
Yo,
you
I
said
just want to come up here. I want to come up here and show some information. When people see this down the line, it'll be a different outcome. You know what I'm saying?
You showed a PowerPoint.
I'm battling.
I'm
battling Jim Jones right now.
Hey, listen. We had quite a few people turn on in here, so listen, we're gonna be.
Yeah, I love it, man. I appreciate y'all, man. It's all good. I ain't no sore loser.
Hey, I want to say shout out to everybody that's in the building. I want to say peace. Thank you.
See, we're talking about Black and African Americans. We're not talking about this beef shit that we're on. We're not on this drama shit right now. We're on Aboriginal TV's channel talking about Pan-Africans throwing shots at the Aboriginals. A Pan-African came on here, our brother, that makes our shows live for real. I gotta say, all of us need to sneak together and throw this nigga $10 because he's one of the only Pan-African boo-boos that come up here and put up a fight. People that just come up here need to see that. They need to see an African, and they need to see an Indian, and they need to see the debate so they could choose a side. Not a Coincidence is a major factor in this community, and people don't even know it. Goofy motherfuckers.